Way back when I was in college and film school, I had the opportunity to work with a guy who was doing a commercial using stop motion. What was stop motion? You have a small character and you move it a little bit, take a frame, move it a little bit more, take a frame, move it a little bit more, take a frame, move it a little bit more, take a frame. We're doing in film, okay? Time consuming. Yes. Oh, you're talking, commercials were, a commercial is 24 frames a second and times 30 seconds. And it was a long process of doing it. Well, you were in film school and you had an opportunity to do it, you did it. Well, very few people like doing that. They like doing it with puppets and other way. Other at that time, other directors did the same thing. They made stop motion. They incorporated using an optical projector. At that time, an optical projector was you do you do your main film, and then you throw. Look it up on the internet what an optical projector is, and that's how things were done. And Walt Disney. Look at Walt Disney's. You can look at that on the internet. But I'm talking about Pinocchio. Pinocchio, yeah, 117 minutes of stop motion. Wow, and you're talking people working. The creator of that went to the studios and said, "Hey, will you fund this?" And they looked at that and looked at the script and looked at that and really like a look at stick figures and said, "No way. That's going to cost a lot of money." It did. It was budgeted at $35 million. Wow. And you look at who people in this thing. You're talking people that have Pinocchio, and they take a little itty bitty clip of Pinocchio. Let's say you're going to be doing the 1 minute one, and then you're talking about breaking down Pinocchio to doing Pinocchio doing 1 minute. And the director said, to the artist, you make yourself part of that character. He was given a box of faces. And if you look at Pinocchio falling down a cliff, every little motion in that's that motion, him falling down a cliff, there's a frame, and a frame, and a frame. And again, 24 frames per second, and if it's a minute long, 24 times 60. And is it hard to do? Yes, because you have to set up your background and what have you. Well, you can use green screen. The director wanted this stuff as much as live as possible. So any action you see that are multi-actions, yes. And many of these artists worked alone. What do you mean? You gotta be your mind, because they have to put the scenery back there, and they go click, and then they have to move things around so they can get back into the tabletop display. And that's expensive they're doing. So what was this? Netflix is the one who finally really picked this thing up. Production companies. Basically distributed by Netflix. Netflix is the one who put most of the money into it, and there was a lot. If you look at the it comes in 2 DVDs. One is a movie, and one is all the explaining how everything worked. There's a lot of people working on this. A lot of people. You're talking model makers, background designers, all this. And if you're doing in multi locations, you're talking multi of everything of Pinocchio. Yes. And you have to do it. What big problems I ran into? Fire, smoke, and water has always been bad for anything. Not even just stop motion, but anything. It's always been a problem. The budget was $35 million. Now this was released in the box office, and you would figure people are going to run to see this. As an animator, would I have gone to see this? No, I would have looked at the DVD. Sorry about that, folks. The box office was $109,846. What? And then it was released on Netflix. That's not much money. No, that's not much money. But again, it's in history. It will be in film history. It might become a classic somewhere down the line. And I will tell you one thing. You're going to see it on the internet. You're going to see it on Facebook and YouTube and everything else, because people who do stop motion will like to see this. How is it done? Oh my God. Aren't you glad for Adobe? Yep.